Hey, Willie Nelson here, reporting from Los Angeles, where Joe Biden's approval rating is dropping faster than his train of thought. As his presidency stumbles to a close, we're hitting the streets to find out what people really think of his time in office. Can anyone name an accomplishment, or are they struggling to remember, just like Joe? Let's find out.
Yeah, I hated him. I think because he did nothing for us. Prices went up crazy, and I've been broke for the last 4 years.
Our work isn't done.
What do you think the worst thing he did was?
I think the worst thing he did was give all that money to Ukraine for no reason.
How do you think the history books will write him? What are your thoughts?
They're gonna write him as a warmonger.
Unfavorably, overwhelmingly unfavorable. For him, he held on to power too long.
When do you think he should have relinquished power?
Oh, he should have announced that he was only running one term 2 years into his presidency.
My memory is not good. My memory is fine.
Would you have rather seen a primary play out in the Democratic Party?
Yeah, that would have been nice.
I think an example of what shouldn't happen with the whole Ukraine thing is just like, where's our money going? We're suffering here. So it's like, where exactly is our money? It don't make sense. Nothing has made sense these last 4 years.
And that's why today I'm proud to announce a new $2.4 billion package.
Well, you know, given the tough circumstances with COVID, I think it was kind of a tough go either way, but I think, you know, he did a respectable job.
Do you think history books will reflect positively or negatively on him?
I think that it'll be, you know, maybe not quite as good as the Obama administration, but not negatively, so pretty okay.
Thank you, Joe.
I feel like it was pretty lukewarm.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, what would you rate his presidency?
Ooh, okay, a 6?
That's pretty mediocre.
One could say that, yeah. Hopefully the future is looking brighter for the next 10, 20, 30 years.
He's probably one of the worst presidents of my lifetime. Straight up. I'm 31 years old. Probably one of the worst presidents to affect my life. There, I've never had a president mess up as far as individuals lives. As far as that's my opinion on him. You know what I mean? He's probably one of the worst presidents in history, and he just affected a lot of people's lives.
What do you think was the worst thing he did in the last 4 years?
That Ukraine stuff was kind of ridiculous to me. Just the amount of money that they were giving him. Man, there's people dying here. There's people struggling here. You know what I mean? We got homeless problems. Look around. I mean, the homeless are everywhere. It's there's people struggling, people working jobs, trying to make an honest living that can't even make it, you know?
How I'll remember him, the dude was just a puppet, honestly, for the Democratic Party. The guy barely knew what he was talking about half of the time. If you see his presidential address, and whenever he was talking in front of the White House, he would always stutter.
If Joe Biden is a puppet, who do you think is pulling the strings?
Oh, it's easy. It was Kamala Harris, and it was the Democratic Party.
How do you think the history books will remember him?
As a bad president. I didn't really care too much for him. I don't feel like he really did anything.
How do you think history books will remember him?
Destroying the economy, maybe?
Can you expand on that?
Yeah, I do remember when I first came here, it was decent economy, decent prices, decent living. Last 4 years, for me, it's been awful. Everything increasing the prices, especially the cost of living. It's pretty high. I can tell almost 80% extra. So it's affecting most of the people right now.
What's the worst thing that you think he did during his tenure?
Not focusing internally in the nation here. Most of his attention focusing on other countries' problems, not inside the home, which is I think the President Trump, he's coming, his campaign focusing inside the home, focusing on his people, focusing to support the economy, make America great again.
How will history books remember him? Well, definitely will remember him by inflation. Inflation going up, tripling down on everyone's pocket, their home, their food.
What do you think is the worst thing he did over the last 4 years?
That immigration thing, bringing everybody in and not allowing us as American citizens to excel in the things that we need to excel here, giving them things to excel in. And I don't think that was a fair thing to do.
He's got some negative PR right now, but I think he was one of the best people we ever had.
What do you think his best accomplishment was over the last 4 years?
I mean, all his accomplishments were silent by some strange thing. Maybe because people want changes, and this is why they voted for Trump, which is fine with me. But I think his accomplishments should not be silent. I would vote his presidency 9.5.
That's all from Los Angeles, where Botox is cheaper than rent. This is Willie Nelson, your man on the street.
Honestly, I forgot we had a president these last few months.
Not a lot of hair, sleeps a lot, sometimes is there, mostly not.
Yeah, I mean, Epstein's list, all that stuff, you know what I mean?